Most people believe money is the solution to their problems. They think that if they just earn more, everything would be easier. But the truth is, money doesn't fix bad habits. It only amplifies them. In this video, you'll learn how money really works. Not what schools teach. Not what social media flexes show. But the rules that quietly decide who stays broke and who builds wealth. Let us begin with the first truth. Money is a tool. And like any tool, it only works if you know how to use it. Two people can earn the same salary. One ends up wealthy. The other lives paycheck to paycheck. The difference is not luck. It has behavior. The moment money hits your account, it already has a direction. Either you control it or it controls you. Most people never learn to give money instructions. They spend first and save what is left, which is usually nothing. Wealthy people do the opposite. They save and invest first. Then they live on what remains. This single habit changes everything. Now let us talk about income. There are three main types of income: earned income, portfolio income, and passive income. Earned income is trading time for money. A job, a salary, an hourly wage. This is where most people stay forever. Portfolio income comes from investments, stocks, bonds, index funds, money working while you sleep. Passive income comes from systems, businesses, royalties, digital products, things that earn without constant effort. The goal is simple. Use earned income to build the other two. But most people never escape earned income, because they increase their lifestyle instead of their assets. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is one of the biggest wealth killers. When income goes up, expenses go up even faster. New car, bigger apartment, more subscriptions, more convenience. Nothing wrong with enjoying life. But if every raise disappears, freedom never arrives. Wealth is not about how much you make. It is about how much you keep, and how well you deploy it. Now let us talk about debt. Not all debt is bad, but most people use it badly. Consumer debt keeps you poor. Credit cards, car loans for things that lose value. Why now, pay later traps. This kind of debt steals your future income. You work today for yesterday's purchases. Productive debt is different. It helps you acquire assets. Education that increases skills. Businesses that generate cash flow. Real estate that pays for itself. The problem is no one teaches this distinction early. Schools teach you how to work, not how to manage money. Not how taxes work, not how investing works. Which brings us to the next rule. Taxes are one of your biggest expenses, yet most people never plan for them. High earners don't just make more. They structure better. They use legal systems, companies, deductions, long-term strategies. This doesn't require being rich. It requires being informed. Now let us address saving. Saving alone will not make you wealthy, but not saving will guarantee you stay broke. Savings buy time. Time gives you options. Options give you power. An emergency fund is not optional. It protects you from bad decisions. When people are desperate, they make expensive mistakes. 3 to 6 months of expenses. That is the foundation. Once that is in place, investing begins. Investing is not gambling, unless you treat it like gambling. Long-term investing is boring, and boring is good. Index funds, diversification, consistency. Trying to get rich quick usually ends the same way. Getting poor fast. The market rewards patience. It punishes emotion. Fear and greed destroy more portfolios than bad investments. Another important concept is leverage. Leverage magnifies results, both good and bad. Used wisely, it accelerates growth. Used recklessly, it destroys lives. This is why financial education matters. Before tools, before tactics, before risk. Now let us talk about time. Time is the most valuable asset. You can always earn more money. You can never earn more time. Every dollar you invest early has more power. Compound interest is not magic. It is math plus time. Starting late is expensive. Waiting for the perfect moment costs more than starting imperfectly. Consistency beats intensity. Always. Now let us discuss mindset. Most people focus on consumption. Wealthy people focus on ownership. They ask different questions. How can I buy this? Versus, how can I own the system that sells this? This shift changes your entire life trajectory. Ownership creates leverage. Leverage creates freedom. Finally, understand this. Wealth is quiet. It grows slowly. It doesn't need approval. Flashy lifestyles are often financed by debt. True wealth is financed by discipline. If you want financial freedom, start small. Track your spending. Build an emergency fund. Invest consistently. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Learn continuously. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Money rewards those who respect it, and punishes those who ignore it. If you apply these principles long enough, money stops being a source of stress and becomes a tool for freedom. That is how money really works. Now let us talk about something most people ignore. Spending habits. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a spending problem. They don't spend intentionally. They spend emotionally. Stress, boredom, social pressure, comparison. Money leaks through emotions long before logic steps in. Every purchase is a vote. A vote for the life you want, or the life you're trying to escape. Wealthy people don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, does this move me closer to freedom? That single question filters out most bad decisions. Another mistake people make is confusing assets with status. A car that impresses people but drains your income is not an asset. A house you can barely afford is not wealth. Expensive clothes do not equal financial progress. Status fades. Payments remain. True assets quietly produce value. They don't need validation. Now let us talk about patience. Most people want results before they want discipline. They want visible success without invisible consistency. But money compounds silently. For a long time, nothing seems to happen. Then everything changes. This is why most people quit too early. They don't see progress, so they assume it's not working. But consistency is working even when motivation disappears. The people who win financially are not the smartest. They are the most patient. They stick to simple rules. They repeat boring actions. They avoid emotional decisions. And over time, the gap becomes impossible to ignore. Finally, understand this. Money doesn't care about your intentions, only your actions. You don't build wealth by knowing what to do. You build it by doing the same small things, over and over, especially when it feels boring. If you control your spending, respect your time, and stay consistent, money will stop being a source of stress. It will become a tool, a quiet one, a powerful one, and that is when everything changes. Let us talk about mindset, because that is the invisible engine of wealth. Most people think money is just numbers. They think saving and investing are purely logical. But psychology drives almost every financial decision we make. Fear and greed are powerful emotions. They make people buy high and sell low. They keep people trapped in cycles of debt and stress. The wealthy learn to recognize these feelings. They don't suppress them. They observe and act rationally, even when emotions scream otherwise. Another key principle is the power of knowledge. Not fancy degrees, not certificates, just practical, applied knowledge. Knowing where money flows, how investments grow, and what risks exist. Education compounds just like money. The more you know, the more informed your choices become. The better your choices, the faster your wealth grows. Now let us look at planning. A plan without action is just a wish. A budget without discipline is a piece of paper. The key is to combine both. Set clear goals. Define steps. Measure results. Adjust when necessary. Small consistent actions over time are unstoppable. They build momentum. And momentum is the real engine behind financial freedom. Finally, remember this. Financial freedom isn't about flashy cars or big houses. It's about options. Freedom to choose your life, not to be controlled by bills or debt. It is about being able to sleep at night knowing your money works for you, not the other way around. Start small. Track your habits. Make consistent choices. And over time, you will see the difference. Money is a tool. Discipline is the engine. Consistency is the vehicle. If you apply these principles, financial stress diminishes, opportunities grow, and slowly, quietly, you take control of your future. Now let us discuss the hidden power of habits. Most people underestimate how tiny daily actions shape their financial future. Checking your spending every day, even for 5 minutes, gives you insight that a yearly review cannot. Habits are compounding just like money. A small habit repeated consistently grows over time. Skipping one day seems harmless, but missing months is what keeps people stuck. Another crucial habit is reflection. At the end of each week, look back at your decisions. Ask yourself, did I spend wisely? Did I invest in my future? Did I grow my knowledge? Even a few minutes of honest reflection prevents mistakes and reinforces good patterns. Finally, let us remember patience. Real wealth doesn't appear overnight. It is the result of deliberate choices, day after day, week after week. Rushing leads to impulsive spending and risky investments. Consistency, focus, and discipline, even in small doses, outperform bursts of effort every single time. By understanding habits, reflection, and patience, you put yourself ahead of 90% of people. Wealth is rarely about luck, it is about doing the right things consistently even when it feels slow and invisible. Take control today, and your financial future will thank you.